What is up, YouTube Nation? This is Havoc the Emo, the Collector Fiend that runs this scene. And today we had the Transformers 1 trailer live stream from outer space. You can watch the video take off. I mean, if you want to sit around for an hour just watching a satellite go up, and yeah, I mean, the video's really good for people who want to have a flat Earth argument. I'm not going to say which side I'm on. We don't have a flat Earth. Anyway, yes, we're talking about Transformer 1, and it looks good. I watched this trailer like 3 or 4 times. There's some things I noticed. I thought that I'd just talk about it and see, put my thoughts on some of the things, designs, and some of the Easter eggs we have going on. So let's just get this started. Without further ado, let's get a video through.
No, wait. Okay, I might do that. Oh, yeah. Then let's drop it. Here it comes. Let's do it. Okay, let's do it. Okay. The Transformers 1 trailer starts now.
Do you want to do it? That's good. I like that.
I like it too. The Transformers 1 trailer starts now.
Now, first of all, we are going to open up right here. This is where we're going to stop right here, because I noticed a lot of complaints while watching this live stream that everyone was like, oh, it's that Earthrise animation, it's garbage, it looks like a little kid drew it. The animation I kind of like. So CG, it might just be because as a Beast Wars fan, I'm used to computerized CG. Now, Earthrise, yes, I understand why people didn't like that. Like, the proportions were, it looked very, very, cartoony, like old Nickelodeon, old Cartoon Network cartoon style with CG, and it kind of looked off. This one, it is that CG, but the designs actually go with it. So, I think it looks good. Well, another reason I want to stop was because you zoom in a little close, you look at things like Orion Pax's legs here. You look at the arms, and you could very much see the inspiration they took from the IDW, they took from Rise of the Beast, they took a little bit of G1, so it holds that spirit of our original beloved characters, but just puts it, just puts it down. It dims it down for him to be his, I imagine this would be. I mean, I realize Transformers live for thousands of years, but this would, equivalent be, maybe in his 20s. As I imagine this is kind of where his age is at. I think it looks good. I realize people don't like the animation, but, you could see there is plenty of detail. You can even see pistons and stuff underneath his, underneath D16's little, I don't know what you would call this, the piece that's right between his leg and his foot. I don't know if that's just a part of his leg, or if that's I don't know. But you could see all the little details hidden in there. I think it looks really good. I got nothing wrong against the animation, personally. Now, forgive me if I pause here and there, not just the video, but while I'm filming. Kind of doing multiple things this morning, but I will kind of rewind, because there are some things that are a split second, you barely see it, but it's there. So bear with me, and let's continue.
Oh, how long do you think we'll be here? I'm not talking to you.
You know what? We are so screwed.
Thought you weren't talking to me.
You two, come with me. Report to Waste Management.
Hi there, I'm B127. I'm actually working on some nicknames. The one I'm floating right now is Badassatron, which is actually pronounced Badassatron.
Now, B127, here we have him. Again, it looks like Bumblebee. Their designs will change. We will get to that in a little bit, but just as of right now. Now, here's some things that I have a little bit about this. I don't have anything against the design. I think the design looks okay. I kind of personally, I have nothing against Michael Keegan Key. He's a hilarious dude. I love him as an actor. He seems like a nice dude in person. But Bumblebee, I was always kind of one of the youngest characters. Wasn't necessarily confirmed, but kind of seemed like he was more of the younger characters outside of Wheelie. So him seeming to be around the same age as Orion Pax kind of makes it like, I realize that we don't know his age, but the way he's represented, the way he sounds, it seems like he's almost supposed to be the same age as Orion Pax, and that's a little, I kind of wish he was younger. But they are changing the origin story. And another thing is that from it looks like this is them just being thrown into the mines. And then we see the first person they are introduced to is B127, who kind of seems like he's going to take up the part of showing him around, showing him the mines, and kind of being supposed to be kind of like their supervisor, mentor kind of thing. So it's kind of cool in that sense that he kind of introduces them to that world. He's kind of supposed to be kind of their guide. And then eventually Orion Pax, who is, the person he's guiding, his pupil, if you will, becomes the leader, and he ends up kind of like following Orion. So I think that's kind of cool. I'm excited to see how that turns out. If that makes sense, like they're kind of switch roles. He gets introduced to Bumblebee, who is showing him this world, a world that he's used to. This is what he knows. And then they're just going out of the water.
We're gonna call you B.
We're just gonna call you B.
I know we're just lowly.
Now, right there, we see that glowing part in his chest. We do know his chests are initially hollow. Is this more towards the ending where he might possibly...
we're gonna call you...
Or he might be possibly getting the Matrix of leadership? Will we be getting that in this movie? Because I know they are trying to find it. Does he get it in this movie? Is that just, indicating something that we see a little bit later in the trailer?
B.
The one I'm floating right now is
Overshot it.
Badassatron, which is actually pronounced Badassatron.
We're gonna call you
We're going
B.
to call you B. Because this looks more like an Optimus-esque. It looks like this is when he's getting the Matrix. If you look, you see the glow. It looks like he has the handles there. So it looks like this is when he gets the Matrix itself. It looks like more towards the ending, and it possibly is by the time that he is switching into Optimus Prime. So I think this is when he and they even tease it at the trailer. Before he was Optimus Prime, and then you see him drop down. You see his smokestacks and stuff. He's like his head, his silhouette is a little bit beefier and a little bit different than what we just saw, and he has the glowing in his chest that looks like the Matrix. So this is probably something we will see at the end when he actually gets the Matrix of leadership. But yes, it does show that he will be Optimus Prime, and they will say that when he becomes Optimus Prime, Peter Cullen will take over the voice. Chris Hemsworth is strictly just doing an Orion Pax. From my knowledge, that might change some point in the future, depending on how they're planning on doing these distribution of these movies.
I know we're just lowly worker bots who can't even transform.
So it looks like they were both working in the mines, which is something that is talked about in Transformers Prime. It talks about in the IDW comic books. It talks about in some of the G1 lore and some of the G1 lore was all over the place. And people don't always accept the lore for what it is. Like, if it's not in the TV show, they always consider it lore. Even though technically the lore is the comics, the TV show, and the toy reviews. Those are all lore. But since it's the writing switches between, like, here to there, it's just the lore was all over the place. So it's kind of nice that we are getting an actual movie that's going to basically they want to settle in stone a history, and they want to bring in a new generation. They're like, here is a history. Here is like, it brings more life to these characters, especially to people who didn't grow up on these characters. And even for people who grew up on these characters, like G1 people cannot specifically say we had a 100% for sure origin story. Like, yes, Orion Pax, his origin was clear in War Dawn, but it was very like, it doesn't show who Orion Pax was before that. And it wasn't very meaningful. This one's going to be a lot more meaningful. So, I know that was a rant, but yes, you'd see him looking to mine, and maybe Energon. It was a purple light, so maybe Dark Energon. Maybe Energon's purple. Maybe Energon's are just different colors. Whatever it is, it definitely looks like they were a miner before breaking into the surface, which we will get into in a second.
Don't you want to see what's out there?
And again, that looks like at the end when he actually becomes Megatron. And it looks very interesting because throughout this trailer, you will see. Did I? No. You kind of see him looking at history, and it kind of seems like they are bringing in maybe the 13 primes, which I'll get into in a little bit. And it seems like that history will be brought up, but it takes place after the whole war with the 13 primes, but before the second war. So somewhere in the before the Golden Age, during the Golden Age.
There's a reason no one goes to the surface.
Right here.
Don't
Give
you
me a
want to
sec.
see what's out there?
There's a reason no one goes to the surface.
So right here, and as we saw, Megatron looked badass in that final shot. So this is probably that's probably like an ending shot where you see him. But here we see D16 looking over the Decepticon insignia, which could be part of a ship. It could be Megatronus buried, because initially when Aaron Archer designed and was storyboarding the 13 primes, originally they were going to be massive, like Titan scaled beings. So it could be Megatronus, and they decided to give him more of a Tarn head sculpt. It could just be part of a ship from an old war, but it does kind of seem like Megatron or D16 is taking the name from Megatronus. And it kind of seems that as someone who has been in and out as a worker and whatnot, it definitely seems like it's going to go into depth how they were both Orion Pax and D16 both had the same goals, but they were inspired by different parts of history. And I'm kind of curious to see if like maybe Liege Maximo or Megatronus himself kind of like taunts D16. That would be kind of a cool little nudge. There's nothing to actually specify that here in the trailer, but that's just more of like maybe like a little thought, fan theory. But yeah, it definitely seems that it will look into the history, and the history of Megatronus and the Decepticons will definitely like play the role in that for sure. And I think that that's cool. He is just going to be led throughout. I'm guessing he's going to just basically kind of learn about Megatronus and kind of slowly kind of start following those beliefs and seeing the differences within everything and how he is being trapped as a miner and he wants out.
It's dangerous.
Because you even see him put his hand on there, because that could be a part of his people, part of the history. Like that is something that or maybe that's not even a Decepticon signal. For all we know, it could be part of a ship. Maybe that is a symbol used by miners, but just lost in time. It's like maybe that is like the Decepticons weren't necessarily a thing until he became Megatron, and then he just took inspiration from that to make the insignia. whatever it is, there is definitely going to be a deep historical meaning to this movie, which I am down for. And yes, it's an origin story, so I love how it just doesn't go just the origin of these guys, but it'll also kind of go into the origin of maybe Cybertron itself, which I am down for. And then here we see him getting a jetpack, so I'll shut up.
Why'd you bring jetpacks?
If we survive this, I'm gonna kill you!
I accept those terms. The surface. Accept those terms.
Sorry.
The surface.
Okay, I don't want to go through this whole trailer in slow-mo, but I am digging Alita's design. She doesn't look like she has a transformation either. I don't know exactly who it all, like, maybe transformation is only for those in the military class or government class, and everyone else is just more like a random citizen. Or maybe if you're just a worker bot, whatever, like, you're not allowed to transform. Like, you know, only for like the high class society, the high society has those type of power. We don't know yet, but Alita 1's design is killing it. I don't know, people are hating the animation, but look at that. That is magnificent. I realize they don't like the humanoid like face going on. It's a metal humanoid robot. Like, there is only so much you could do with that design before it starts looking more human or more robot. Now, you have to find a happy medium somewhere. You know, some people don't like it when they look too robotic. Some people don't like it when they look too humanoid. They're trying to find somewhere in between. And I personally think this looks good. I love that design, especially Alita's design. All their designs are cool, but Alita's head sculpt, the head design and everything is kind of my favorite so far.
It's beautiful.
So right here, I like this. Some people might be confused. What's all this grass and all this stuff? Well, for us Beast Wars fans, we know exactly that Beast Wars, being part of the G1 continuity, for those who want to deny it, it talks about how Cybertron was at one point a techno-organic planet. It wasn't fully robotic. It had organic life mixed in with it. So the director, probably looking into that, thought that that would be a good, like, they want to bring that back, and that shows kind of where we were on a timeline in Cybertron. This is way before organic life got vanquished from the surface of Cybertron. This is like it goes into a timeline into where we are, but it also talks about it. Well, it doesn't necessarily talk about it. Brings life to this planet. It brings life to their culture. It makes Cybertron more than a prop. You know, like, we know Cybertron's their home planet, but this actually brings life to their planets. It shows us what they see. We could finally see their planet the way they have always seen it and described it. How Cybertron was a beautiful planet at one point. We never got to see that, and now we do. And I think that's cool. Some people don't like the whole techno-organic aspect or origin. Beast Wars was a love and hate thing. You either loved it or you hated it. And that's how it is with any Transformer thing. It's going to be the same thing with this movie. You're going to love it or hate it. Either way, I'm just here to talk about it.
Beautiful.
Or I guess ramble for 30 minutes.
You have proven yourself worthy. Take these and access your full potential.
Time to show him we are more than meets the eye.
All right. So that looked to be maybe Sentinel Prime. They do get their transformation cogs. I'm guessing that's supposed to be Sentinel Prime because while there is 3-4 characters or whatever that hasn't been confirmed for a voice cast, Sentinel Prime is someone that is confirmed by John Hamm. But it sounds like Sentinel Prime, I think, is where he'd get the Matrix from. So, will this guy possibly be Alpha Trion? Just kind of more a beefy Alpha Trion? Is he one of the 13 primes? I think from his design, he's probably going to be more of an Alpha Trion character. That's where, and it makes sense because in G1, Alpha Trion is who fixed up Orion Pax to become Optimus. So, who knows? It could be Sentinel Prime, but if I was a betting man, I think that Sentinel Prime won't be till more towards the end, and that's who he being Orion gets the Matrix from. I think this is, I think that's Alpha Trion, personally. And I think Alpha Trion, he's going to give them their transformation cog, and he's also going to talk about the 13 primes in the war and everything. So I feel like this whole scene is going to have a lot of the historical significance to it. And their actual designs here, you see, they get a lot, try to zoom up here. You again see a little bit of IDW, you see a little bit of G1, you see a little of this, a little of that. B16 looks very gold in this shot, like gold bug gold, but throughout the rest of the commercial, he looks normal-ish. So I don't know if this is just like they're still kind of tweaking the CGI a little bit, but it looks, his design looks good. Megatron looks like Megatron. Oh yeah, Megatron looks like Megatron. Like, they look good. I like their designs.
We can transform now!
On 3, 1.
It's working! Where's my head? How do we use these things? Oh, look at wheels! I need wheels!
Now, some people saw this scene and they're like, oh, some more of that stupid Marvel humor, blah, blah, blah. I could see that, understand why you're calling it Marvel humor, but at the same time, I think it goes more than just humor. It shows, we always assume that transformation was just a natural thing, just like breathing for them. This actually brings up to the fact that even in Beast Wars, Beast Machines, they said the original Transformers couldn't transform. They had to teach themselves how to do it. And it's kind of cool. It shows that they had to teach themselves how to do it. How to adapt, to be able to change, and how to keep your form, how to control that. So I kind of like that, personally. And it actually shows, it'll show how skilled they are to go from not knowing how to transform at all to actually using their alt modes in battle and being able to switch between the two of them without any problem.
Guys, that's not good.
Quintessons. It's a little bit different, there's not the multiple faces. That's more based off one of the faces. So I wonder if there's going to be multiple Quintessons, all with the different faces that you see. But yeah, Quintessons be the main bad, the big bad. So we'll see. I'm interested about that. I like the design.
We've got these powers for a reason. Let's use them.
I would like to slow down for this part specifically. Playback speed. That's badass animation.
Stand here together.
So we see that Optimus, he kind of looks more like a heavy like cup, like his vehicle mode looks like kind of a heavy cups vehicle mode. You know, it same back, but kind of looks maybe a little more boxy, a little more armed up. Looks cool. And like I was saying, it now you see him like not knowing how to transform at all to actually be able to use his transformation in battle. There we go, though. There we go. Who else could that be? Really? Who else could that be? That's Black Arachnia. Like, who else could that be? Who else would it be? Are they bringing in a whole new character, like a Widowmaker, or something? Is this a female Quintesson, or what? Like, this looks like a Black Arachnia to me. Which is interesting. Yes, they brought Black Arachnia into modern Transformers before, like with animated and whatnot, but I like her being a Beast Wars character. We'll see. We'll see. But I am down for it. I'm down for as many Black Arachnia toys I can get.
Powers for a reason.
I missed the part I was trying to pause on.
Use them.
We stand here together as one. Whoa! I got him! Guys.
Okay, we're gonna have to just wait here for a sec.
We stand here together as one.
Here we are. This is what I was trying to stop on. Here we have Starscream, we have Soundwave, and we have Shockwave, which looks to be in a throne room. Is this going to be more towards the end of the movie? It kind of seems like it because of the lighting that we see Megatron and his face in. It seems like this is going to be kind of towards the same point. Will we see him just kind of like gather these guys throughout the movie? I don't know. I would think so. I hope they don't just throw these guys in at the end like, oh, here we have Starscream, Shockwave, and Soundwave. I hope we have a little bit of an origin on how these guys got banded together. But yes, we will see them, and they're looking glorious. They're looking good. But yeah, they're clearly right there. A Shocktacon, maybe? Skywarp. It kind of looked like that was Skywarp. And in case you didn't hear me over the video, looked like that might have been a Shocktacon, which makes sense. They have the Quintesson, so but yeah, it looked like we got some Seeker battles going on.
Whoa! I got a battle mask! It appeared with this guy! Knife hands? I have knife hands!
I can see that. We stand here together as one.
Whoa! I got a battle mask! It appeared with this guy! Knife hands? I have knife hands!
I can see that. B, these are not the bad guys.
Why did you cut the door?
Wait, no, it was already like that. Right?
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
It was. Yeah, it was already like. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, but yeah, that's it. There we are. Looks a little bit funny. Looks a little bit of heartfelt. It looks like there's going to be some historical significance when it comes to Cybertron. I think it looks like a good movie, and from everything you see in the trailer, there's a lot of potential to this being a deep, meaningful movie and actually setting the bar for other Transformer movies. Like, this is going to bring so much richness and thickness to the lore, and it's going to be one movie where it's actually going to be settled. It's going to be set in stone, and I feel like they're going to use this, and it's not going to be replaced. Like, they want to settle the origins. They want to go in, and they want to set a good origin story for the first time. So I think this all looks good. Did you guys see the trailer this morning? If this is your first time seeing it, what you think? Do you think it's going to be good? Do you think it's going to be bad? If you think it's going to, do you like the animation? What do you? I don't know. I guess we just kind of gotta wait. But yeah, there's a lot of really cool little hidden things in there, hidden gems, and I cannot wait for the movie. I guess there's nothing left to talk about, so this is Havoc the Emo saying, remember, there's nothing wrong with being a geek. As long as you're feeling free and you're feeling you do what you want to do, you do what you can do. It's your life, your money. Don't let anybody tell you you're too old to play, collect, or have fun. Peace out, YouTube Nation. Till next time, see you in theaters and roll out.